Lost your job right after putting money down on a car? Don't panic. Here's what you must know before you lose your deposit or your peace of mind. Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. Stay until the end to receive a bonus tip. Imagine this scenario. You're sitting at home, maybe sipping your morning coffee, feeling a sense of accomplishment. You've been searching for a new car for weeks, maybe even months, scrolling through endless listings, comparing models, and reading reviews. Finally, you found the perfect vehicle that fits your needs and your budget. The excitement is real. You can already picture yourself behind the wheel, driving off into new adventures. After careful consideration, you head to the dealership, heart pounding with anticipation. You meet with the salesperson, ask all the right questions, and negotiate a deal you're happy with. To secure the car, you put down a $1,000 deposit. The paperwork is signed, the receipt is in your hand, and you leave the dealership with a sense of pride and satisfaction, knowing you've taken a big step toward owning your dream car. That night, you can hardly sleep. You're already planning your first road trip, thinking about the places you'll go and the freedom your new car will bring. Maybe you even tell your friends and family, sharing your excitement and showing off photos of the car you'll soon call your own. The anticipation builds as you count down the days until you can pick it up. But then, the very next day, everything changes. You're at work, going about your usual routine, when you get an unexpected call from your manager. You're asked to come into a meeting room. There's a strange tension in the air, and you can sense that something isn't right. In the meeting, you're told that your position has been eliminated. Maybe it's due to company restructuring, budget cuts, or some other reason beyond your control. The news hits you like a ton of bricks. Suddenly, the security you felt just yesterday is gone, replaced by uncertainty and fear. Panic sets in as you realize your steady income has vanished overnight. You go home, your mind racing. You sit at your kitchen table, surrounded by bills, your car brochure, and a calculator. The numbers just don't add up anymore. The car that once symbolized freedom and excitement now feels like a heavy burden. Without a job, you simply can't afford the monthly payments, insurance, and all the other costs that come with owning a new vehicle. You start reviewing your household expenses, looking for places to cut back. Every dollar counts now. You check your bank statement and realize that the $1,000 you put down as a deposit is money you desperately need for essentials, like rent, groceries, and utilities. That deposit could make the difference between staying afloat and falling behind. With a deep breath, you pick up the phone and call the dealership. You explain your situation honestly, telling them about your sudden job loss and asking if there's any way to get your deposit back. You hope they'll understand and show some compassion, given your circumstances. The salesperson listens, but you can hear the hesitation in their voice. There's a long pause, and then they put you on hold. You wait, anxiety building, as you wonder what they'll say. Finally, the sales manager comes on the line. Their tone is firm and businesslike. They explain that according to dealership policy, the deposit you paid is non-refundable. It's written in the contract, they say, and there's nothing they can do. Your heart sinks as you realize you might not get your money back. You hang up the phone, feeling helpless and overwhelmed. The stress is almost too much to bear. You wonder how you'll make ends meet and whether you made a terrible mistake by trusting the dealership with your hard-earned money. But is that really the end of the story? Is there truly nothing you can do, or do you still have options? You start to feel a glimmer of hope as you remember that consumer rights exist for a reason. You pull out your copy of the deposit agreement and start reading the fine print. You wonder, can a dealer legally keep your money when your life has been turned upside down by circumstances beyond your control? Are there laws or protections in place that might help you get your deposit back? Determined to find answers, you start researching your rights as a consumer. You jot down questions and possible next steps. Maybe there's a cooling off period, or maybe the contract wasn't as clear as the dealership claims. You realize that knowledge is power, and that you might have more options than you think. Let's explore your rights and the steps you can take to protect yourself in this situation. When you're shopping for a car, you might hear the term car deposit come up pretty early in the process. But what does it actually mean, and why do dealerships ask for it? Simply put, a car deposit is a sum of money you pay to the dealer to show that you're genuinely interested in purchasing a specific vehicle. It's a way of signaling to the dealership that you're not just browsing, but are seriously considering making a purchase. This deposit acts as a commitment, letting the dealer know you're ready to move forward. By putting down a deposit, you're essentially reserving the car for yourself. The dealership will usually take the car off the market, sometimes even putting a reserved sign on the windshield, so that no one else can buy it while you finalize the details. This gives you time to arrange important things like financing, insurance, or even just to get your paperwork in order. It's especially helpful if you found a car that's in high demand or a model that's hard to find. For dealerships, deposits serve a practical purpose. They help protect the business from financial loss. When a car is held for a customer, it's temporarily taken off the market, which means the dealership can't sell it to anyone else. If you decide to back out of the deal at the last minute, the dealership may have lost valuable time and missed out on other potential buyers. The deposit helps offset this risk, and in some cases, it may be non-refundable if you change your mind without a valid reason. The amount you'll be asked to put down as a deposit can vary quite a bit. Sometimes it's a flat fee, like $500 or $1,000, but it can also be a percentage of the car's price, especially for more expensive or custom-ordered vehicles. The exact amount often depends on the dealership's policies, the type of car you're buying, and how long you want the car to be held for you. It's important to understand that a deposit is not the same thing as a down payment. This is a common point of confusion for many buyers. A deposit is simply a way to hold the car and show your intent to buy, while a down payment is the larger sum you pay up front to reduce the total amount you'll need to finance or pay off. The deposit is usually credited toward your down payment when you finalize the purchase, but the two are distinct in the paperwork and in how they function. For example, you might put down a $500 deposit to reserve a car, and later, when you're ready to complete the purchase, you make a $5,000 down payment. The deposit is subtracted from the down payment, so you'd only need to pay the remaining $4,500 at that stage. Always make sure you get a receipt for your deposit and clarify with the dealership whether it's refundable, under what conditions, and how it'll be applied to your final purchase. In summary, a car deposit is a key part of the car buying process. It shows you're serious, helps secure the vehicle you want, and protects both you and the dealership. Just remember to read the fine print, ask questions, and make sure you understand exactly how your deposit will be handled before you hand over any money. By being informed about how deposits work, you can approach your next car purchase with confidence, knowing you're making smart decisions every step of the way. The deposit agreement is crucial in any dispute. It outlines the terms under which the dealer accepts your money. Look for terms like non-refundable or refundable under conditions. If the agreement is vague, you may have a stronger position. Insist on written terms before handing over money. A verbal promise is hard to prove later. A reputable dealer should clarify deposit terms on paper. A refundable deposit allows you to change your mind. Common contingencies include financing or vehicle condition. A non-refundable deposit protects dealers from indecisive buyers. Losing your job often isn't a listed contingency. Dealers may argue they're entitled to keep the money. However, good customer service can sometimes prevail. State laws can sometimes overrule dealership agreements. Some states cap the amount a dealer can keep as liquidated damages. If a car is quickly resold, the dealer's actual loss may be minimal. Cooling off periods rarely apply to dealership purchases. Check your state's laws for any protections. Your state's Attorney General's office is a valuable resource. Understanding your rights gives you leverage in negotiations. Your approach to the dealership matters. Remain calm and professional, even if frustrated. Speak to the general manager, not just the salesperson. Clearly explain your situation and request a refund. Be prepared to negotiate. They might offer a partial refund. Emphasize the importance of their reputation and future business. A smart manager values a good reputation over keeping your deposit. If negotiations fail, escalate the issue in writing. Send a demand letter to the dealership's owner and manager. State the facts and demand a refund by a specific date. Mention relevant state laws to show you're informed. If a verbal promise was made, include it in your letter. If the letter doesn't work, file complaints with outside agencies. Small claims court is a powerful option for smaller amounts. Avoid deposit disputes by being proactive. Never put down a deposit unless you're certain about the purchase. Review the deposit agreement carefully before signing. Negotiate terms if necessary and pay with a credit card for protection. Keep the deposit amount as small as possible. Walk away from deals that don't feel right. Losing your job is one of life's most stressful experiences. Suddenly you're faced with uncertainty about your future, your finances, and your next steps. Now, imagine adding another layer of stress, fighting to get your deposit back from a car dealership. It can feel overwhelming, like the odds are stacked against you. But here's the truth. While the situation is tough, you're not powerless. In fact, you have more rights and options than you might realize. You often have more power than you think. Car dealerships rely on their reputation and want to avoid disputes. When you approach them with confidence and knowledge, you shift the balance. Remember, you are the customer, and your concerns matter. Don't be afraid to ask questions, clarify details, and assert your rights. The more informed you are, the stronger your position becomes. A polite, well-documented request can lead to a positive outcome. Start by gathering all your paperwork, receipts, contracts, emails, and notes from conversations. When you communicate with the dealership, be clear, respectful, and specific about what you want. Written requests, especially those that outline the facts and reference your rights, are much harder to ignore or dismiss. Documentation is your ally. Always get terms in writing, especially the refund policy. Before you sign anything or hand over money, make sure you understand the terms. Ask for them in writing if they're not already provided. Pay special attention to the refund policy. What happens if you change your mind? Are there any fees? Having these details documented protects you if there's a dispute later. Use a credit card for deposits whenever possible. Credit cards offer an extra layer of protection, allowing you to dispute charges if the dealership doesn't honor its promises. If you paid by credit card, and the dealer refuses to refund your deposit, you can contact your card issuer to initiate a chargeback. This process can be a powerful tool in your favor. If necessary, escalate with a demand letter and formal complaints. If polite requests don't work, send a written demand letter outlining your case and what you expect. Keep copies of everything. You can also file complaints with consumer protection agencies or your state's attorney general. These steps show you're serious and can prompt faster action from the dealership. Small claims court is an accessible tool for consumers. If all else fails, you can take your case to small claims court without needing a lawyer. The process is designed to be straightforward and affordable, giving everyday people a way to resolve disputes and recover money owed to them. Don't be intimidated. Many consumers win their cases with good documentation and preparation. Stay informed and advocate for yourself. Fairness can prevail. By knowing your rights, keeping good records, and standing up for yourself, you can turn a stressful situation into a fair outcome. Remember, your money matters and so do you. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. With that, you are ahead of 90% of most people in America. Here is the bonus tip that we promised. Contact the dealership in writing immediately after losing your job. Written communication creates a paper trail that strengthens their case for a refund or deposit recovery. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.